qu'on fait avec cette première interview? Ça va pas être facile.
My name is Frances Knaebel, and my degree is in engineering, but I have a background also in education. And so I came to the works doing some teaching and doing some development of some activities in the world of engineering. So we are an engineering museum for primarily elementary age kids. So we have a lot of field trips come to the works where they'll play in our exhibits and then they'll go take a class. We host a lot of camps, so folks will sign up for a week-long camp in, say, robotics or Lego building or things like that. So our main goal is to get kids building things, making things, creating things that they can then take home with them, and get kids really into the creative process of creating things. The works was dreamed up by a woman named Rebecca Schatz, and she did a lot in this area to help STEM education, getting people involved in science and technology. And she had this vision for a place where kids could come and actually do hands-on things. And she was way before her time. the current, the current drive, the current popular thing is, this maker culture and just getting people to do hands-on stuff. And Rebecca was an advocate of that, 20 years ago. She was getting this started. So at the beginning, it was very volunteer run, and there were a few exhibits, and they were all made by volunteers, and it was in teeny tiny spaces, and it moved around a lot. So it was they took whatever free space they could get. So it was like basements of community centers. They were in some mall spaces for a time. And so just really bopped around to a lot of different spots until about 5 years ago when they landed here.
Okay.
Yeah. And in this space, we have so much space that we don't even know what to do with it all. It's a really big building, and really, exciting because we have so much potential for what we can do with it.
And so,
Sure. So we have programs. If you can't afford to come to the works yourself, we have programs. It's called our Gateway program, where we help to fund schools that either can't afford a field trip, or we also have scholarships for kids that want to come to camp but can't pay the full fee. We have supplemental. We have funds to help them out. Yeah. Sure. So like a lot of our exhibits aren't really traditional museum exhibits. They're more activities kids can do that help them engage and get creative and build things. We really want kids making things as much as possible. And so we have things like our Connects car ramp, where kids can make a car out of Connects pieces and then go race it down a racetrack and see how fast it goes. Then they can take their car, and we encourage them to go through the engineering process, test it out, and then go try to make it better, try to make it faster, see if they can change how the wheels are, or the length of the car, or what type of wheels they use. Try out different things to see if they can improve their design. Because that's really the big fundamental part of engineering that we want to drive home with kids, is that it's a process. You're not going to get it right the first time. We want kids to develop the skill of trying something out, failing, being okay with that, and then making it better and trying again. We also have like our sensor maze is very popular, so that's a place where kids can run through and try to get through a maze without setting off a lot of sensors, kind of spy-like, try to sneak through. We've got our block room, which is really popular, and it's just plain foam blocks. They're like so simple, but it's big and it's exciting. It's bigger than blocks you would play with at home, and you can make a huge fort that goes up over your head. You can create, a big wall, and you can think about how, structures get made and how pieces fit together to be strong and last a long time. Yes, the reason we mentioned Toronto is that in an effort to make use of all this cool space that we have, we're in the process of designing a maker space. And at the Works, we've been doing maker type projects for a really long time. We've been building with kids. We took you down to the basement where you saw, we take kids, and every kid makes something and takes it home with them. And we make mini catapults, we make kaleidoscopes, we make that, we have a chemistry class where they make this glow-in-the-dark goo. And so the maker idea has been a part of the organization since the very beginning. But we want to create a space now where you can create something that is longer lasting, something that is more involved, something that is not just, hot glue with popsicle sticks and cardboard, but real, wood, real metal, real materials. We want to create a space where you can come in as a kid or as an adult and create not just what the class is that day, but we want kids to be able to create whatever they dream up themselves. And so my job right now is creating a plan for what that maker space will look like. And I'm trying to figure out what kind of tools do we want to have available? What kind of programs do we want to run in the space? How would we structure it so that, how many hours are we going to be open? When, how are people going to store things? All those logistical things, but then also the bigger, what's the big picture of what we want to be able to offer? There isn't, in other parts of our city, there are programs and things available like this, but not in this part of the city. There's very little here. So we want to be truly a community resource and be a place where people can come in and make whatever their heart desires. Right, yes, that's a huge goal of mine, is to make kind of an ongoing project. So, have this, if we make our maker space and have all these tools available, we can say, okay, we want to create, this activity down in the exhibits, and we'll invite people. Maybe it'll be a class, or maybe it'll just be show up on Saturday and help us build, and have kids, have the community create the actual exhibits that go down on our exhibit floor. That would be just so fun, so phenomenal to have just a community built thing that then other people can come in and enjoy. Yeah, we're hoping to have woodworking equipment. We're hoping to have sewing equipment. I really want to be really great to do like screen printing design. We'd love to have a vinyl cutter, laser cutter. We'd love to do robotics and electronics things, so have all those components available, soldering stations, things so you can put together. We'd love to play with Arduino and programming. I would love to have a dark room and do photography. I think so. We have a long wish list, and we might be able to do all of it. I don't know, but we're at the beginning stages of our project, and we're just figuring out what those things are that we're going to be able to offer. And hopefully, our goal is really to have it be like a family thing, so that kids are coming in and they're the main focus, but really create a space where parents can come in too, and create alongside their kids. Maybe they're working on a project together, or maybe they're learning, because so many adults don't have access to these things either, especially in the city. You don't have a garage full of professional equipment, and there's very few people that have that luxury. And so we want to provide it for adults too. And so much of it, since it involves new technologies that are coming out, adults don't have a lot of experience with that yet either. So they could be learning right alongside their kids, and either creating things together or just, learning those things side by side.
And
I think it will expand our range. So right now we really do focus on elementary kids. I think this project will open it up. We're hoping that it extends so that we get some high school age students that are, members, or maybe they're volunteering and helping younger kids. I think that this will really open up the offerings that we have, and because right now, the way our programs are set up, we do a really great job for those elementary kids. So from like 6-year-olds up to 12-year-olds, we're just really good at those programs. And even younger than that, we have some preschool programs, so down to like 3 years old. But then we tend to lose kids. They've kind of, done the extent of what we offer here. So we want to be able to extend that and create offerings that are more exciting for teenagers to stick around and learn more and do more.
and
Right now, our main audience isn't the folks that are directly our neighbors. It's we pull from some of the suburbs that are a little bit further away from us, and we're hoping with this project to really engage with the community that's here, because it's a community that has some minority populations and some underserved populations. And so we're really hoping that through this and through our program offerings that we can pull in the folks that are really close to us and right here. Right. I really hope that it's a place where it gives resources, you know, and it gives opportunity where it isn't normally. And I think we have a huge opportunity with the new space, and we're already pulling in, you know, quite a few folks that wouldn't have access to some of these creative outlets. You know, already with the programs we're doing, we're pulling in folks that wouldn't necessarily have just creative time time to make something physical. But I think with the makerspace, we're really going to just extend that and tap into some populations that are closer to us. And we have to, part of it is figuring out what we're offering and like what kind of programs we're going to have there in place, because I think that will make a big difference to who we can pull in. Yeah.
Thanks, Sarah.
Thank you.